Hello, and welcome to a new Liftinstituut expert session. In this series of short video discussions, experts from all over the world share their knowledge, experience, and views on a variety of vertical transportation subjects. Today we'll be talking about the latest developments in the Escalator Standards Committee. And with me to discuss this are two guests from Liftinstituut. Bahadoer is a senior inspector and also a member of that committee. And Azaad Santoe is a product specialist. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Azaad, let's start with you. Tell us about your background in the industry and what you do as a product specialist.
Well, I started at Liftinstituut in 1978, which is nearly 35 years ago.
Long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very long time ago. In that time, I was very busy with the public transportation in Rotterdam.
Okay.
And which contains the metro of Rotterdam, the airport of Rotterdam.
Sure.
So they have a lot of escalators.
Yeah.
And that was the start of my career in the escalators. So, and after gaining a lot of experience and knowledge and also discussing a lot with Roy, my colleague, who also did inspection in the same region in Rotterdam. We shared the same experience and knowledge, and at the end, like 10 years, 15 years ago, I joined our certification organization and become product specialist certification for escalators.
Okay.
So that's my career within Liftinstituut.
Long career.
Very long career.
Yeah. And Roy, tell us a bit about your background and specifically how you come to be on the Escalator Standards Committee.
I was starting Liftinstituut at 1987.
Okay.
And doing first inspection, and I had two colleagues who were specialists in escalators.
Okay.
And they were going to retiring, so they asked who wanted to do the escalators. And I said, okay, it's fine for me because the escalator was a very nice machine. It is, you see it as all mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and my background was mechanic. So I started in that period, and we do with Azaad do a lot of inspection of escalators. And in 1998, I joined the SEN committee. The SEN committee is doing the code what we have now.
Yeah.
It was starting in '84 with other colleagues, our old director.
Sure.
And my old chief inspector were also member of this committee.
Okay.
They retired, they stopped, and I take it over from 1980.
Okay.
Until now I'm doing this, and we're doing also, what I do at Azaad, also doing certification.
Yeah. And for the Escalator Standards Committee, what's the goal of the committee and what are the latest developments?
Our goal for the committee is to make a safe code. For users, also for maintenance person, also for inspection person.
Okay.
That's the goal. And it must also safe as possible to have a high level of safety. And till now, what we are seeing, we achieved this. Because the code is using in the whole world. Everyone is using it, except Canada and America is using not a lot.
Yeah.
Some piece of the code.
Okay.
In China a lot, in India a lot. All the countries is using, some are using a few chapters, some using the dimensions, but all the countries is using some part of the code.
Right, good. When consistency is good, especially with manufacturers all over the world. Yeah. And what changes are happening to the machine directive and how are those being applied to the code?
What we are looking is our code is let's say, a part of the machine directive. We look in the machine directive, we make a lot of risk assessments, and in this assessment we take it in our code, and then we develop a code. And that's part one, the 115 part one. And in this code, all the safety requirements was according to the machine directive.
Sure.
So when you build the machine according to the 115/1, then you have I think that then you have a compliance with the machine directive. If something changes in the machine directive, we as code members look what is changing.
Yeah.
Is it changed to us to change our code also? Then we implemented it. And also the manufacturers doing also the same.
Right.
They also always looking at the machine directive also, because the code is one code, but you have a lot of things to think about it. The machine you put in the building, and that we cannot say how to put it, where to put it.
Sure.
So the owner has to do to look at the machine directive. Is my building safe with this kind of equipment?
Okay, yeah. And what prompts changes like this to happen? Is it suggested by other organizations? Is it driven by technology, or do accidents cause a change?
It's based on accidents, of course. Also, accidents happens.
Sure.
Several accidents, several kind of accidents, but also technology improves very quickly.
Sure.
As you can see, in the past, the most parts of the escalator were mechanical parts.
Yeah.
And then the next step was electromechanical parts. And now we are going to the future, which is programmable electronics, means we are dealing with computers.
Okay.
Let me put it very simple.
Sure.
Dealing with computers in the escalators now, as also in several horizontal transports or vertical transports like lifts.
And I'm sure we're breaking Roy's heart because he loves the mechanical aspect of it. But
no, it's no problem because the mechanical system is the same. Only the protections, the safety requirements, you can do it with programmable systems, electronic programmable systems.
Okay.
And now we are seeing all the systems is, let's say, the electronica is easy to monitor from outside.
Sure.
And you can see what is happening to a machine. And nowadays, not very important, but a lot of companies are doing this.
Yeah.
They want to see, well, is my machine running?
Right.
Owners also, is my machine running? Why it is stop? How long it is stop? What causes this stop?
Right. You understand at a deeper level.
Exactly. And this kind of things you can look it from outside.
Yeah.
With connections, let's say Wi-Fi or internet connections.
Yeah.
And that is the thing of programmable electronic components.
In addition, on the story of what Roy is saying is the big benefit of going through electronic components they are static components. They are not moving components.
Yes.
So they are more cheaper also for the manufacturer.
Yeah.
That is also a big advantage why they are introducing electronics.
That makes sense.
And that is the new technology.
And in the future, I think what we can expect is that you can reset your installation from outside.
Okay.
There's no engineer is coming to the location to say, guys, what is wrong? I have to reset.
Right. Yeah.
And that is the advance of this new development for programmable electronic systems.
That's great. Yeah, I was going to ask who is affected by changes to the code and developments, but maybe the answer is everyone from the the property
Both
owners.
the manufacturer, both the users.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the users. Yeah. Huh. And ideally, they don't even notice anything because they just take the escalator and nothing happens.
Then it's always good.
Right. And how? Well, tell me a little bit more about how the industry is affected. Like, what do manufacturers? What do they need to account for? They're using this new technology, and that makes as manufacturers is the job easier or harder?
I think for the manufacturer is easier.
Okay.
It's cheaper because electronic is now becoming cheaper.
Because you're replacing moving parts with
and moving parts they have a lifetime, not lifetime. They have time for a certain amount of time. Yes. And electronic also, but electronic can change more easier than moving parts. Electronics, you can take the print out and put another one.
Exactly.
Well, as we say usually, plug and play, which is
plug and play.
Plug and play. That's it. That is what the future will be.
Great.
Plug and play.
Are there developments in the area of functional safety?
Well, that is the programmable electronics. That is functional safety.
Yeah.
As Roy said, reset from a distance is possible, but also one important thing to think about is the maintenance.
Yes.
People are very expensive in labor.
Yes.
So what is more beneficial
Right.
replacing an electronic component or a mechanical component.
Absolutely. And even, whether it's under warranty by the manufacturer or for an older model, in an existing building.
Tear and wear also is very important because mechanical parts are moving.
Yeah.
So you have to look at it, how it is. Is it the dimension the same as new?
Yes.
So you have to look at that. That you cannot do with, I think, from distance. Only you can monitor from distances. Till now, maybe in the future, I don't know, but till now, is it working? Is it running? Is it stop? Why stop?
Right.
Can I reset?
Yes.
What kind of maintenance guy I have to send?
Yes.
Someone who is technical high level, or someone is technical electrical high level, mechanical technical. That you can decide before you send someone there.
And you know so much more about the issue, whereas before it might have been simply a phone call saying the escalator is not working, and then you have to arrive and figure everything out. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. And with all of this, are escalators safe? I know that by and large that they are, but what are the dangers of escalators?
Safety you cannot guarantee 100%.
Yeah.
That's one thing for sure. That's a fact. You cannot neglect it.
Sure.
You cannot guarantee 100% safety. Right. So there will always be some accident happening with an escalator, or even with an elevator, even with a car on the road. So, but we try to achieve as much as safety
possible. In the code also we look at the accidents, what is happening.
Yes.
And when an accident is happening often, then we decide to say, guys, we have to look at this particular accident.
Right.
Why it is happening? Is it something dealing with the machine itself? Is it something on not the use of the machine?
Right.
How to use it?
Yes.
And that we are dealing in, we discuss it, and we think maybe we can introduce another safety.
Right.
And I think the code 115 is a very high level safety code for escalators. Only you have to look how people using it.
Right.
That's very important. You are depending on people who are standing on the escalator.
Right. And designed for how they're behaving, not how you want them to behave.
The leak is the person on the escalator.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to think about these things in a holistic way and figure out root causes and so forth.
Here everything is open. If you have a lift, the cabin is closed. You cannot do anything, nothing more.
Yes.
You step in, closing, go up. Here everything is open. You see everything moving. So if you see everything moving, you want to do this, you want to do that.
Right.
You're looking at the environment also, not attending from I have to step up.
Yes, exactly.
And that causes the most problem.
And regarding all of this, how do codes come into play?
Okay, I'm taking part of this code also because of Liftinstituut was taking in the future past, in the past part of the code, and now I am the membership of also of this.
Yeah.
And a lot of countries, the European Committee countries, are taking part of this code, and we look the global accidents in whole Europe, and also looking now in outside Europe for China, for America, and we analyze this. And we analyze this accident. We introduce safety to increase the safety level.
Yeah.
And we see what can we introduce to do this. And from Liftinstituut side and also from other inspection companies, bodies, what are taking part of this committee, looking is it safe. You can introduce something in this machine, but it is safe, but we have to look at it, is it safe enough for the users?
Right.
Do we not introduce other unsafe points?
Exactly. There could be a change that maybe saves money, where obviously you'd be skeptical.
Also, we have looked at this, how much it costs, but safety in our code, not looking at the cost.
Exactly. Like outside of all of that.
Safety is safety, and we do this safety, and we got a lot of discussion about this. Right. And but till now we don't have any problem with this.
Well, it's great that this committee exists. It's great that Liftinstituut is a part of it. And so thank you for doing that. Thank you for being here today. And thank you for joining from home for another Liftinstituut expert session. Our expert sessions are hosted on our YouTube channel. So go to YouTube and search for Liftinstituut. Click subscribe. And did you know that the Liftinstituut expert sessions are also in podcast form? Open your favorite podcast app and search for Liftinstituut, and you'll find us there as well. Let us know below in the comments if you have topics you'd like to see us discuss in future expert sessions, and we'll see you then.